everyone, and welcome to Shelby This Week. Top news stories, heroes in Shelby, a school surprise, and a look at lounges in the township. All this, plus much more, but first, a special tribute was held recently for 3 Shelby Township police officers and 1 firefighter for their courage, bravery, and heroism. The tribute stems from that huge fire that blazed through Crystal Lake Apartments on January 6th. These 4 men put their lives on the line to rescue residents from a second-floor balcony. Battalion Chief Mike Gatos, Police Officer Paul Sorbo, Officer Chris Killop, and Sergeant Patrick Bernard were presented special tributes at an awards ceremony. Awards signed by State Senator Jack Brandenburg, Governor Rick Snyder, and State Rep Pete Lucido. Their quick thinking and fast actions helped everyone get out of the apartments quickly and safely. We commend those 4 men and the rest of the crews who worked that fire. And speaking of police, what would you do to make a birthday wish come true? Shelby's finest came to the rescue. Stacy Sansatera gives us the details.
In today's world, it seems like every news story talks of all the mistakes that police officers make, and no mention of all the good deeds they actually do. Recently, Shelby Township officers visited the kindergartners at Beacon Tree Elementary to surprise a very special birthday boy.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Well, I was thrilled to have them here, and Owen loves police officers, and because he just celebrated a birthday, he thought that he could share with us his love for the police officers. So they came in, and I was thrilled that they were able to talk to our friends about safety and strangers and what to do and what not to do.
And the police officers took this opportunity to discuss some much-needed life skills with the children.
I thought it was a great opportunity to get to as many kids as we can about bike safety, 911, stranger danger, getting lost in stores. This is a perfect opportunity for us to talk to everybody. And as you can see, you know, they cleared out the whole kindergarten class, so there was 80-some kids here that we were able to touch base with and get our point across, and it was fun. Plus, it's fun for the officers. The officers don't get to do this kind of stuff every day, and they enjoy it. I mean, this is the positive part of the job.
And as the morning came to a close, the kindergartners all took an oath of their own.
Promise to do all my homework.
Do all my homework, but
Eat all my
I'll
vegetables. I didn't hear you. Treat my teacher with respect.
Treat my teacher with respect.
Treat my parents with respect.
Treat my parents with respect.
Love my brothers and sisters.
Love my brothers and sisters.
Clean up my room.
Clean up my room.
And be happy with my classmates.
And be happy with my classmates.
You're all sworn in. You're good.
The children were thrilled to meet a real hero as Officer Paul Sorbo was celebrated for going above and beyond by rescuing a toddler from a recent apartment fire right here in Shelby Township. The Shelby Township Police Department's commitment to our children is undeniable. But what about Owen? What was his favorite part?
Because he just got me a police badge.
I'm just thrilled that they came here today and shared with our friends on how to be safe, and that police officers are our friends.
For Shelby This Week, I'm Stacy Sansatera.
Looks like it was a great birthday celebration. A popular business that's known to be trendy in some areas has been in the spotlight recently. Charlie Cadado gives us the full report.
Hookah Lounges have been booming in Shelby Township. 9 out of the 13 lounges in Macomb County are right here in Shelby, and that's making some residents angry, calling on Shelby Township officials to add more regulations.
No, there should be no more. I mean, they should not be allowed, and I don't even think there should be that many in the first place.
But lounge owners say they're already having a hard time turning a profit. When Shelby officials began discussing the option of closing earlier, Mike Kassab, owner of Strange Clouds Hookah Lounge on Mound Road, created this petition, saying most of his customers don't come in until after 11. He closes at 2 a.m. on weekends. Blow Hookah Lounge on Van Dyke closes at 4 a.m. Some residents say that's too late.
The bar's not even allowed to be open that late. Come on. I mean, what are they doing at 4 o'clock in the morning, these kids? No, I don't think so. No, they need to go home and go to bed and get up for school the next morning is what they need to do.
Shelby Township officials already introduced new ordinances in the last few months, but police say it's meant to keep residents safe.
The new ordinance is in place. Our officers can basically go inside the lounges anytime we need to do an inspection. We can check for underage smokers, underage possibly drinking activity, whatever it may be, but and we will be very proactive with this.
Everybody needs some checks and balances, and I think that if it's going to allow the police to come in to make checks to make sure that everything's okay and nothing illegal is going on, I'm all for it.
I asked several hookah lounges for their side of the story, but they never returned my calls. For Shelby This Week, I'm Charlie Cadotto.
All right, Charlie, interesting information. And we have a breaking news story for you, only here on Shelby This Week. Police have just made a drug bust in Shelby. Township police reported recently that a Shelby Township man was arrested in connection with possession of marijuana. Police seized 40 pounds of the drug from the man. Again, this is a breaking news story. We'll have more details soon. Coming up, businesses wanted, snow pile safety, and a plea deal. Stay tuned.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach
likes
your
you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Shelby's exploring real estate for development. Recently, business owners were welcomed to an event promoting township buildings that are vacant and turn them into thriving business. Sites like the southwest corner of Van Dyke and 24 Mile. This event was to help bring out businesses and lease out some of those retail spots, take care of residents, and make Shelby a top-of-the-line business area.
We're trying to integrate them together and letting them know that Shelby not only has these properties available, but we are also trying to get them to know that Shelby has open arms for businesses to come in. We're going to expedite the process for getting a permit and securing all the requirements in order to open up. But it's a trickle-down effect. Once you get that word out that we are that aggressive and open to businesses, people will flock to our community, and it'll help spur our development, keep it viable.
Other areas, Van Dyke corridor between 21 and 23 miles, and the old VG's building on 25 and Shelby Road. And with businesses comes jobs. The Michigan Department of Transportation is giving $1.6 million for 500 transportation jobs in Macomb County. It's the State Transportation Economic Development Grant that's supporting the 519 new jobs. A growing business in Harrison Township that's been around since 2010 is expanding and needs more employees. Yanfeng USA is investing $56 million to renovate a vacant building where the over 500 jobs will be needed. Great news on the workforce front. Serious mounds of snow are loading up all over parking lots, street corners, and sidewalks. Nick Buckler tells us more.
This seems to be the look of most roads and parking lots recently. Normally, I would be in plain sight, but today, a roadside snow pile stands between us. After a record snowfall earlier in the week, and more expected in the coming days, residents are being advised to drive with extra caution, not because of poor driving conditions, but because of large snowbanks blocking the sight of other drivers as well as pedestrians. These snowbanks are more hazardous than they may seem. Let's say I'm a pedestrian about to cross the road. I have no way to know if a car is coming at full speed on the other side, just as the driver has no way to see me coming.
Yet knowing there's a reduction in crews over the years, we've had to work with local municipalities to figure that out. And so what we've been able to do, in particular like Shelby Township, working with their DPW, how do we get them and compensate them to get to some of those subdivisions while we're trying to take care of those main roads. And so we worked out a great partnership and working relationship with local municipalities in doing so. So the biggest problem with this huge snowfall we had was clearing main thoroughways and trying to get to those.
Although roadside snowbanks appear to be the most fun for kids, it is highly recommended they stay away from them. Sorry, kids. Looks like you'll have to move your snowball fight elsewhere. Reporting live for Shelby This Week, I'm Nick Buckler.
Well, Nick, it looks like you lost that snowball fight. It's a sad day for the cooking connoisseurs. Shelby Township's very loved and very talented Cathy Lentini, host of Cooking with Cathy, famous local chef, has decided she will be ending her TV show Cooking with Cathy. It was with great sadness that she reported recently from her kitchen that she'll no longer be continuing her wonderful show. After over 10 years of cooking up recipes in her Shelby home, she's decided to put down her apron and move on. Her life is now busy with grandchildren and wants to spend more time with her family. We'll miss her new episodes, but we'll continue to air reruns of Cooking with Cathy right here on Shelby TV. A Shelby mother pleads no contest to child abuse as her second-degree charge was dismissed. 22-year-old Audriana Rhodes was back in circuit court. Rhodes was accused of killing her 2-year-old son, leaving him in a vehicle strapped in his car seat for 9 hours. The second-degree murder charge was dismissed, and the charge of child abuse causing death is punishable by up to 15 years in prison. Reason for the lesser charge, Rhodes showed no malice of intent. James Nelson was her son, 2 years old. He died September 3rd, 2013, after someone strapped him in his car seat outside their home at DeQuinder Estates. Rhodes was arrested, spent 8 months in jail, and posted bond in May. A barricaded gunman will be undergoing a mental exam ordered by the court. Shelby Township resident Bobby Grimes, 46, accused of holding police at bay at his home last November, will undergo an evaluation to see if he's fit to face charges from his arrest back on November 11th. It happened near Ryan and Auburn Roads on Greenview. Grimes fired off 3 shots. Shelby police were called and were in a standoff for 2 hours until police entered the home and arrested Grimes on felony firearm, resisting arrest, and attempted murder. No one was injured during the standoff. A man was attacked by a dog that came out of nowhere on a local trail recently. It happened Saturday, January 31st. This story first reported from WXYZ. Dave Sylvester was running on the Macomb Orchard Trail near 24 in DeQuinder. A woman with a brown dog was walking close to him. The dog became agitated, broke free from the woman's grip of the leash, bit his left forearm, dragging him to the ground. The woman had to pull the dog off him. Then the dog bit him again, this time on the hand. Dave says he ran away because he was so scared. He ran miles back to his car, unsure if the woman could hold back the animal. He received 20 stitches in his arm. If you know anything about this case, who the owner of the dog is, please call Animal Control. Dave's worried this could happen to someone else with a different ending. There's something you can do to help in the battle against cancer. Veronica Meadows tells us more about a free kickoff right here in Shelby.
Shelby Township's Relay for Life hosted a kickoff event this past week. Residents and team members gathered together to see what's in store for this relay season. The committee has been planning since October.
We're definitely pumped and ready for the new relay season and to keep fighting that fight against cancer.
The committee announced this year's theme at the kickoff. Participants will get all aboard for a cure. People new to Relay for Life got to learn more about the event and the American Cancer Society. Returning members and captains picked up supplies to gear up for the next few months. The money raised will help support both cancer victims and their families.
It's raising the money to give them rides to cancer treatments, help them get wigs after losing all their hair, give them the resources that they need, and just really helping them fight so they can celebrate more birthdays, celebrate being survivors, and just keep living.
If you couldn't make it to the meeting, check out the Relay for Life website. It will have updates throughout the season, all leading up to the big event in May.
When I go to Relay for Life and I see all the purple shirts and I see all the hope and enthusiasm, that makes me feel like, yes, this is possible. We can beat this disease. We can finish the fight. And hopefully we don't have to relay anymore. That it'll be done. Cancer will be a thing of the past.
For Shelby This Week, I'm Veronica Meadows.
Their goal for Relay for Life is to have 53 teams this year. Residents waltzed around Shelby Township recently at the 68th Annual Viennese Strauss Ball. The Austrian Society of Michigan hosted the event. The atmosphere was full of waltz enchantment, traditional rhythm of dance and music. The Strauss Ball is a long-time tradition where young women, called debutantes, dance with young men in wonderful patterns across the dance floor. The event was held at Palazzo Grande, a fun event for all. Mallow Junior High took part in a nationally recognized workshop recently, challenging students to keep tabs on social issues. Challenge Day. 100 students were selected by teachers, counselors, administration, and parents to be part of the assembly and workshop. Tony Lowe from Mallow explains.
Challenge Day is a 6.5-hour program where we unpack a whole lot of social and emotional learning. That means we're getting skills for life, for community, but we're doing it by playing a bunch of games and doing a bunch of fun things.
The challenge can be very emotional. Students deal with their struggles and focus on how to treat one another. There's a formula: notice, choice, and act. Notice, be aware of what's around you. Choice, make a choice to help people. And act, get up and help someone.
I learned the biggest life lesson was probably not to judge a book by its cover, because usually bullies bully somebody because they're hurting inside or they are going through something. So the right thing is to just try to prevent that from happening and understand what they're going through before you judge them or do anything like that.
Even if somebody may seem mean or might not like you or you might not like them, everybody's going through their own struggles, and there's something deeper and a reasoning behind that, and we just need to figure that out, and that's going to help change the world.
Good response from the kids. The students want to come back to Challenge Day next year. A new attraction has just opened for the community and especially for athletes, and it can be used all year round. John Martin reports.
The new 108,000 square foot athletic dome at Oakland University is now open for student athletes. This dome replaces a 29,000 square foot practice dome that did not meet the growing demand for indoor practice time for the university's soccer, track, and baseball teams.
It's about 3 times the size of our old dome that we had here, and so the student athletes are going to enjoy. We can have like multiple teams running in and out of this dome and playing at the same time, so it's really a fantastic thing for us.
And so in what ways is it used for the varsity athletes?
Well, from about 6 a.m. to about 5 p.m., our varsity athletes, our team sports like soccers and maybe the golfs can play here, and our tracks can use the dome for their practice opportunities. And then at 5 o'clock, it's kind of like we turn it over to the community, and that's where Total Sports takes over. And so the community members around this area can then come in and have youth groups, and it's just a fantastic indoor facility. You know, we need indoor facilities here in the state of Michigan, and this is one of the best ones around.
We approached Oakland University about 3 or 4 years ago on some type of concept to replace their older dome that was down here, and through that we came this this agreement that it's a shared facility where Oakland University gets to use it during the day, Monday through Friday. We get it at night, Monday through Friday, and then we get it all day on Saturday and Sunday. And to help support the actual construction of the dome, we are supplying the funding for a 20-year stream. So in essence, OU doesn't pay a cent for this dome. In fact, they get a return on their investment. So we get to utilize it at night, which is our prime time on Saturdays and Sundays, and Oakland University gets to use it during their day for OU athletic. We rent our time, our space to local travel teams. There's about 3 or 4 here that use this dome Monday through Friday. And those groups generally are about a 30-minute radius of whatever our facilities are, because parents are only going to drive so far Monday through Friday with schools and other obligations. But then on Saturdays and Sundays, we draw folks from all over the state for our leagues. We draw folks from Ohio, Indiana, Canada. Everybody comes out here, and sometimes they'll play double headers, wherever the case may be. And that's just not only soccer, that's soccer, baseball, softball, lacrosse, any sport that can be played on turf. We'll utilize this facility for that.
I think the dome's real cool. I mean, the last one we had, it was a bit small. This one's huge, and the fact that it's got the logo on the side, I think it's pretty cool. You can play full-size games in here, so I mean, huge advantage from a training standpoint, especially in the winter,
So I hear you're from Shelby Township.
Yeah, I'm from Shelby Township, Shelby Junior High, and then Eisenhower.
Great.
Yeah.
Did you play soccer at Eisenhower?
Yeah, I did play soccer at Eisenhower. Yeah.
This new dome will allow student athletes a place to practice year-round, and it's big enough to host multiple teams at the same time. Congratulations to OU for a great addition to their campus. For Shelby This Week, this has been John Martin reporting.
And speaking of soccer, a local soccer star just signed on to play college soccer at Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois. Marissa Vigiano of Macomb, a senior at Dakota, stopped by Macomb County Executive Mark Hackelzoff recently to sign her national letter of intent to play for college at the Big Ten school. Marissa signed away as her family and Hackel watched.
Atmosphere right now is incredible. My friends, my family, all these people here to support me. I'm very grateful for all the people that are here right now, and very excited to attend Northwestern University, and it's a great school with great academics, and I'm very lucky to be going to college there.
Marissa plays a center middle in soccer. She currently plays for the Michigan Hawks Soccer Club, a year-round traveling soccer team. She's looking forward to moving to Evanston, play for head coach Michael Moynihan, who was also in attendance at the signing. Marissa says she's going to major in biology. Up next, Nature Stories. Stay tuned.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Nature Tales are in full swing, and you're invited. The Burgess Shadbush Nature Center is hosting an Ordinary Toads Extraordinary Night for preschoolers on March 5th at 1:30 p.m. If you can't make that date, there's also a story time and walk activity on March 19th. $2 per child. Call for details at 586-323-2478. And that's Shelby This Week. You can watch us online all the time at shelbytv.org. And remember to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/ShelbyTWPTV. Thanks for watching.